The talk that I've started, it is the goal. The goal is that ultimate reality, and there are three approaches. And that goal and the three approaches that we find in Hinduism, a goal is known as Brahman, and the approaches are like from Advaitic point of view, from Vaishnavism, and or Tantra. So today we will try to give an idea about the Vaishnavism, and Vaishnavism, the philosophy, we will discuss in our next class. That is also we will plan, and because the philosophy is really, really interesting, because there will come the two great philosophers and many others. But before that, let us begin with this stotra. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rutra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Shamabastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Nabidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Vishnu is the Supreme God, and the Vishnu, from him everything has come, and everyone is meditating on Vishnu, paying respect to the Vishnu, and we also pay our respect to the Vishnu Bhagavan, and we begin our main class. This one. This one. So this, as I was saying, the Omkara, I have given this Omkara, mentioning that this is the main goal, and the approaches are Tantra, Vaishnavism, and the Vedanta. Now, Vaishnavism. What is this Vaishnavism? This is the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, and it says Lord Vishnu is the main God. Lord Vishnu, he is lying on a snake, and it is floating on water. And if we can see, the Lord Vishnu is the only existence, but along with him, there is a snake and a mother, Lakshmi, and also the Brahma, the creator. Now, from here, if we see in this way, the duality comes. Now, Advaita, they cannot imagine in this way that there will be so many realities. If the Vishnu is the only God, then where from the snake came, where from the water came, where from Ma Lakshmi came, and also the Brahma, because this is the duality. But they say no, the Lord Vishnu, he is the Supreme God, and from him everything has been created. Exactly, all the Hindus, as they believe, that there is only one reality everywhere, that is consciousness. But that consciousness takes the form as Lord Vishnu. And the Vishnu is having the two quality, one Saguna and Nirguna. He can have all the qualities with the form, without the form too. And Saguna, that means the qualities, there's a creation, he can do the creation. How he can do the creation? Sattva, Raja and Tama. In the Sanatana Dharma, it is very simple. They say there are only three things are there, Sattva, Raja and Tama. I say always in this way to translate, good, mixture of good and bad. The purely good, purely bad, that is Sattva and Tama. In between, the mixture is the Raja. And these three gunas, when it is all in the same way, then there is no creation. When there is no mixture, there is no changes, there is no creation. But the moment it is changing, the creation begins. And the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, is the source of all these. Sometimes, at his pleasure, we do not know why, he thinks that I should create. And how I will create? Immediately, he starts utilizing those three Sattva gunas, Sattva, Raja and Tama. Now there is a point that we have to remember in the philosophy. If I am creating, I am sustaining, I am destroying, I am active, I also am going to be destroyed. So I am not detached from that. So that is the philosophical point. As I am not detached from that, I am also affected by all these. And that is the reason, to save that point, the Lord Vishnu is creating another agent called Brahma. How he is creating? Now here they say he is sleeping. The sleeping means is in yoga nidra. And because of the yoga, how they will say that he is in yoga nidra? Nidra means sleep. Yoga means he is not actually sleeping, he is meditating. But at the same time, he is creating. So how they will show us, that is the uniqueness of Hinduism. They will give you some pictures, some drawings, some idea from where you have to get this. So here we find the snake, and this snake is the symbol of yoga. The Sahasranaga, that means there's so many heads, more than 1,000 heads. But why they have thought in that way? Because this is the power of yoga. The power of yoga is tremendous. Today morning, I had to give a talk, about 10-15 minutes, on the yoga. They were celebrating the yoga year and all that. Here we find that the yoga is that snake. You have noticed that our Shiva is also having the snake. It's not that Shiva is constantly having the snake hanging from his neck. No. From his neck, nothing is there. Only we are imagining that a snake is hanging as a garland because it is a symbol. Symbology we have to understand. The symbol of yoga. Shiva, he is the master of yoga. So as if the yoga as a garland is just wearing like that. This why snake? Here in the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in his gospel he has said that when the Kundalini Shakti is arising, that is also another concept. Those who are practicing the yoga, they say in the human body there is a power that is dormant at the end of the spinal cord. And if the doctors they operate, they won't find it, but the yogis they find it. And it goes on slowly, when the mind is becoming pure, when the mind is becoming free from ego, when the mind is becoming completely detached from all these worldly objects, name, fame, then slowly that goes up and it comes to the top of the head. But when he moves like a snake. In the wringle way it comes. So that is the reason snake is the symbol of yoga. Now the Vishnu, the Supreme Master, he is lying on the yoga. That yoga means he is having everything within him, but it is not manifested. He is not using it. He is not sleeping. He is in the yoga. The sleep means you don't have the control. But the yogi has the control, but at the same time, not using. So this symbology, if we can understand. Now, why this water? And the Hindus, out of respect, they will say, it is the milk, the ocean of milk. Our God, why he will float on water? So milk is a costly thing of milk. But milk or water, whatever it may be, it is liquid. And if it is a water means there is no form. I would prefer to say this is water, and water has no form. So these points we have to keep in mind to understand Hinduism. Every place, every step, everywhere, this symbolism comes in this way, that first, that when the Vishnu is lying down on the water, that means there was, in the beginning, there was no form. How we will make you understand that there was no form? Because in this way we have to, that water has no form. And that is the reason, first is the water. Second, that Supreme Lord is in meditation. And what he is meditating? He is thinking that I should create. And that is why from his navel, another God is coming up and is sitting on a lotus. That is called Brahma. The picture is not very clear. The Brahma's form is red. His color, body color is red. And he is having 4 heads and sitting on a lotus. Why lotus? Because the devotion. The Brahma is out of devotion, and that is the creation. The moment we have the devotion always, it presupposes that I love God. So duality. So Brahma is that form of duality. Who is creating? The Lord. When he is creating, when he is meditating. That means out of his mind. We do also. When we sleep, we create so many things. Even when you are just sitting and we go on thinking if we could do like this, if we could do like that, we are creating. When the God is thinking, it is the creation. So that creation, now understanding this, actually there was nothing, because in the Upanishad, almost all Upanishad, very clear, in the beginning there was nothing. And we cannot say nothing, it was something, but we cannot explain it. The moment we say nothing, at the Buddhist philosophy sometimes they say nothing, but it is not nothing, it is something, but we cannot explain it. We do not know how to explain it. The something is there. That something is consciousness. And that consciousness, as if, started taking a form, and he says, I like to create, because for my own enjoyment. Why I like to create? For my own enjoyment. How he will create? Out of his own. Because there is nothing other than God. So the water is the form of that ultimate condition where there was nothing or something which we could not explain. Then on that water came a snake. Why so many heads? Because the yogic power, unlimited power. The God has unlimited power. That's why 1,000 heads. And on that snake, the Lord manifested. And why he is like this? They said in the Bhagavata, that when Brahma started creating, Brahma didn't see the Vishnu. This is the imagination. The Lord Brahma, who was created by Vishnu, didn't see the Lord Vishnu before. Then he was going on creating because the Lord asked him to create, and he was creating because he was given the knowledge of creation also, and power also. So he was utilizing that. In the beginning, he was utilizing only Sattva Guna. And when he was utilizing only Sattva Guna, And he was creating the rishis and very wonderful personalities. They were so good, so kind, so meditative, so spiritual. So there was no problem at all. The Brahma was very happy. He was going on utilizing only Sattva Guna. And using the Sattva Guna, he created 4 brothers. Sanak, Sananda, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar. These 4 brothers, they asked him, "Sir, who created you?" Then Brahma was busy in creation. I can't say that. And it is not possible for me to say also, because the creator, how can I explain? Suppose a very intelligent computer, it can answer everything. But suppose you go and ask the computer, "Hey computer, who has created you?" The computer will, after searching, will say, "That information has not been loaded in me, I cannot say." The same way, the Brahma said, "I won't be able to say because the God didn't give me that information. Why don't you go to the Creator who has created me?" So almost in that way, I am just giving the allegory here. The Brahma went and prayed, "Sir, will you please come and take the form so that these people can understand?" And these stories are there in the Bhagavata, very fascinating stories. These 4 brothers, they all went and they were praying. Brahma told, "I pray," and they were praying, and there came a huge, the swan, white swan, huge form. The Brahma first manifested, or we can say, not Brahma, the consciousness first manifested as swan. The Paramahamsa, in Sanskrit they say, Parama means extreme. Above that, nothing is there. Hamsa means the swan, the great swan. Why swan? Because it lives in the water, at the same time it is not weighted by the water. It is there, at the same time it is not there. So that is again the symbol. Hinduism is full of symbols, so mostly we are confused. We do not know how to understand this. So what I feel sometimes, first to teach the Hinduism, symbology should be explained. That this swan came and he said, "I am happy that you have invited me. What do you want to know?" These 4 brothers said, "Who are you?" That when I was giving the talk on the Bhagavata, this is in the details are there. Brahma, or we can say, again and again I am saying Brahma, it is not Brahma. Brahma was there created, it is Brahman, or I should use the word as, because duality, the Lord Vishnu in the form of that swan, he started with another counter question. Is there anyone else there that you are asking, "Who am I?" Because when you compare, then only you can ask, "You are not that, you are not these, and who are you?" There is only me. How can you ask this question? You are learned, and you have meditated such a long time. So from there goes on the question answer. In Bhagavad we find all these great philosophical questions and answers, all based on the only oneness, no duality. Only one, only one, only one. So this is the creation. Then the second, that our Brahma, that portion I am not going to tell because it is a long conversation. So first he manifested in that form. Then the Brahma, the first created one, Brahman and Brahma. This is a little, so we have to keep in mind. Brahman is the all-pervading consciousness, the supreme goal for the path of knowledge, those who are following the path of knowledge. So the Dvaitin, it is Vishnu, and the creator is Brahma. Now this Brahma, again he started the creation, and this time he used the Rajaguna. And when he used the Rajaguna, then Prajapatis came. Prajapati is the master. So they started creating the Praja. Praja means the subjects. So it is not Nagarik. It is not citizen. It is Praja. So our conception, Raja and Praja, still in our psychology, it is Raja and Praja. Whoever is a minister, we always think, psychologically, he is the Raja, the ruler, and we are, though we are selecting him. So this, from this point it is coming. So Raja, Praja. These people in America, there is no Praja concept. There is no Raja concept. It is Nagarika. So we live in this city, Nagara. So in this, we are responsible for this, Nagarika. So this completely two different conception. Swami Vivekananda, when he came over here, understanding this, he gave the call to the Indians that you must be liberated. 15th August is coming and India got freedom. But you know the thought first generated in the mind of Swami Vivekananda. And he is the first person, he said, that remember, right from your birth, you are dedicated at the altar of your motherland. So that is a wonderful concept of Nagarika. Now this is a Praja. And this Praja, they were creating Prajas and they were ruling the Prajapatis. Then the Brahma thought, well, Sattva-guna I have used, Rajaguna I have used. Let me use the Tamaguna, the pure Tamaguna, without adulteration. And that was dangerous. When he started creating, of course he used some Raja and then Sattva and Tama. Little bit of Tama went out of his control. And the Ravana, like those type of personalities came. They were highly educated people. Ravana was highly educated, very talented. He was Dashamukha. Dashamukha, sometimes we depict as a 10 heads. No, he was as intelligent as 10 people together. So Ravana is a Dashamukha, and we always like to imagine there will be 10 heads, and then we are killing. Not like that. He was very, very intelligent person. They're comparing to 10 people's intellect in one man. So this is the Dashamukha, the 10 heads, Ravana, but very egoistic. And when he was there and he was creating problem, and not only that, terrible people started coming called Asuras. And it went completely out of control of Brahma. And Brahma started crying. Oh, I have failed. The Supreme Lord gave me the power, gave me the knowledge, and wanted me to create. But I could not utilize it properly. Sattva was easy. Raja, that was also okay. But when the Tama came, the terrible ego, selfishness, cruelty, and Brahma also could not control them. All these, and they started creating themselves, and they were covering, started torturing people, because that is the nature of the Tama. Tama means falsehood. Tama means cruelty. So these all Tama, then Brahma started crying. He started praying to the Supreme Being. The Lord, you have to do something, you must do something. Otherwise it is out of my control, I cannot do anything. Then when the Brahma was crying in that way, and also Shiva joined him, the Brahma and Shiva, they went into one place, and there they saw that this is the form, the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Dhari, that Lord Vishnu. The first Lord Vishnu came, in a flash only they saw. Not that he was standing before them. There was a great thunder, and that thundered voice, someone told, I am that. And I am that. That means everything that is created, I am that. So that way he mentioned, and here we saw, they saw, Brahma saw a huge personality covering the whole space, having the Shankha, Chakra, and Gada and Padma. So in 4 hands. And his clothes were the color of gold. So he looked at that, saw that, and he was mesmerized with the beauty of the Lord Vishnu. And he meditated on the Lord Vishnu and then said, now what shall I do? It is out of my control. Then the Vishnu said, no, you have done your duty. Now it is me who will go and save these people, show these people the path. And we find, as the traditional Hindus, they believe, the Lord Vishnu incarnated in the 10 different ways. In the beginning, it was all water, but the Vishnu wanted to float it, keep it. So everything was merging. So he came in the form of a fish. Then slowly, the water and little land came. So he came in the form of a boar. And then he came in the form of a half man, half animal. So that is the father of the Prahlada. And when the father of Prahlada was denying, he was not accepting the existence of the Lord Vishnu. But his son was a devotee. The father and the son, they had a great it's called fight. Then the father ultimately, as because the more tama was there, he forgot that he is a father. He wanted to kill his son. And when he wanted to kill, the divine power saved him. That is a story almost all of us we know. Particularly in Indian community, they know this story. Then one day, when his father got totally exhausted and couldn't punish his son, he said, where is your God, Vishnu? Then he showed a pillar. Do you think the Vishnu is there inside the pillar? Friends, again, the symbolism. Then God is everywhere. Now, how to teach this truth to the people? So the story goes in this way. There was a pillar, and the father, Hiranyakashipu, by name, he came and said to his son that, do you think it is there? He said, yes, of course. Because he was a dualist. He was worshipping Lord Vishnu. But he knew God is everywhere. We have to keep this in mind. God is everywhere, in everything, including the substances like the pillars. Apparently it is nothing, no life is there. But even then the consciousness is present. Manifestation is very less, so we don't understand. And the story goes in this way. The father, the Hiranyakashipu, the angry man, very egoistic person, very cruel person, he came and he gave the kick on that. Immediately the Lord came out, this time half man, half animal. Nara Shimha. Nara means human, Shimha means the lion. And he killed the Hiranyakashipu. So this is the way story goes. Then afterwards, then came a time when the Vamana Avatara, the beautiful stories that teaches us the whole of spirituality. Who is the Vamana? That before that, I think, I cannot see from here, I think Parashurama. If it's Parashurama? No, before that some other. So there's Vamana. And the Vamana, that is that small one, where is the light? This is the Vamana. This Vamana came, what is the Vamana? Dwarf. And why this dwarf? See, the Lord is in everything, in the fish, in animals, in the stones and everywhere. And he came in the form of a Vamana to show even in that human form, he is having tremendous power to manifest that, to make people understand that. This is the Vamana Shakti. He came, and there was again another king. He was a good king, very good king. But he had the pride that I am the donor. Donation is such a good thing. In every religion, they will be teaching that you must donate. Otherwise, you won't be able to develop spirituality. And when even we are donating, and with that, if there is the ego, we are not getting the blessings of God. So we have to eradicate the ego. So Vamana came, and we know the story, and there are some books, even the picture books are there for the children. The Vamana came and told that I want only 3 steps of the land. And this king said, hey, Bali said, this is King Bali, you, such a small person, and you want only 3 steps? Ask some more. Well, no, these 3 steps will be all right. And the first step, he covered the earth and the below. Then second step, the heaven and all others. And the third step, he said, where I am going to keep. So Bali understood, he became humble, and he said, oh, Honorable Sir, keep that holy feet on my head. So by that way, the story said, even if you are doing good work, but with ego, you won't get the blessings. So ego is the thing that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Ami mole ghuchibe janjal. If you can remove the ego, then there is no problem. Ego is only separating us from God. Then after that comes Parashurama. The Parashurama is an avatar. But what he did? He killed people, Kshatriyas. And one of the poets in Bengal, the Najrul Islam, and very emotionally he wrote that he killed everyone on this world. 21 times he killed the Kshatriyas. And we imagine that he was a terrible person, he was going on killing the Kshatriyas. No, not at all. Exactly opposite. So these are the things, if we don't understand, we won't be able to appreciate our Hindu religion. The Parashurama is an avatar, considered as an avatar. A person like that, who is going on killing only without any purpose, shall the Hindus accept him as an avatar? No, it cannot be. The Hindus, they are very intelligent. In the human mind, there are 2 things that are always there, good and bad. And the good is mostly compromised with the bad things, because the bad has the temptation, the more power. So in our childhood days, we could understand, even the parents are all the time asking us to do good. If the friend is asking us to do something bad, I feel tempted to listen to the friend, not to the parents. Why? Because it is not whether the father or the parents or the friend. It is, the balance is like that, good and bad. So bad is heavy, bad always takes down to the world, and then bad gives us suffering and nothing else. So that's why after the experience, they always say like this. Now human mind, the moment they become powerful, the Kshatriyas, they became kings, they were ruling, they were having the physical power and military power, so started forgetting that they are also human beings and supposed to look after their subjects. Their duty is to look after the subjects. In the ancient time, the Hindus, they always used to keep it as a balance. How? In the modern society, the modern countries, they will have the president. President will have the administrative power, but there is a legislative power and administrative power, but judiciary is there. A judiciary is completely different. They will even, if necessary, punish the president also, the king also. The judiciary was our rishis. They were neutral people. They were highly intellectual people, but neutral people. So the society made in this way, judiciary should be there by the side of the administration, the king. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, they say. The same way, kings were corrupted and they were not listening to the rishis. Those kings who were violating that, this avatara, he punished them, not all. He was living with the Dasharatha, the father of Ramachandra, in the Ayodhya. He didn't kill the Dasharatha. Dasharatha was also the Kshatriya. And he met so many times the father of Sita. He didn't kill him also. There were many kings were there who were following that rule. He didn't punish them. And that way we have to understand. So this is the subtle point of Hinduism. Friends, before entering into the philosophy, I like to give this background of the Hinduism and why the avatars. Avatars, they are coming to establish dharma. And what is the dharma? Righteousness. Why the righteousness? Why the dharma goes bad, suffers? Ego. And how to control the ego? To awaken yourself. That is the whole thing. The avatara comes when majority of the people, particularly the rulers, they get corrupted. Then only the avatara comes. When individual people here and there, little corruption and all that, the law of the land, they will punish them, they will take care of them. But when the king himself is corrupted, and then the many people, intellectual people, they are also thinking that this is the actual religion. By that way, the whole humanity start suffering. Then the God comes in the form of avatara. And this avatara, we find, after that comes Sri Ramachandra. If you notice, it started with a fish. And then it is a complete human being. What is the Ramachandra? Ramachandra didn't say anything but only one message. You have to practice dharma. And what is that dharma? Keeping your promises. The Ramachandra never, you read the whole Ramayana, he never ever said that you should meditate, you should do this, you should do that. Never. As in the Krishna, we find in the Bhagavata and also in the Bhagavad Gita, he is constantly asking the people, humanity, to follow the path of jnana, path of karma, path of dhyana, all this. But in the Ramachandra, no. Only one thing he wanted to give the message, Raghukula Riti Sada Chali Ai Prana Yau Baru Bachan Na Jai. Bachan Baddhata, in Hindi they say, that means once you have promised, you have to keep the promise. If you have noticed, Swami Vivekananda in 1894, he started Vedanta Society in America. He started in New York. But when he went to India, he started Ramakrishna Mission in 1897. Ramakrishna Mission, not Vedanta movement. Why? Because situation was completely different. Here in America, if you have noticed, now after 100 years, they have also changed, mixing with other people, and that is that way it goes, the society. But they were very truthful. Even the ordinary people, if they give the word, they will always keep that. If they say, I will come at 7 o'clock, they will come at exactly 7. If they say, I will complete the job in 2 hours, they will complete the job in 2 hours. I have noticed it. And that is a great quality. Without knowing, just in normal way, they practice dharma. They don't know actually, but they are practicing. What is that? If I have given you the word, I must keep the promise. because of that and many other things, Swami Vivekananda started Vedanta movement because they were ready. But we were not back in India. Though the Vedanta generated over there, discovered over there, but because of the 800, 900 years of subjugation, we lost the originality. So it was necessary to prepare our body and mind. So Ramakrishna Mission. And here, Vedanta movement in all Europe and America. So this thing, that means if you give the word, you must have to keep. If you have noticed, very unfortunately, it pains my mind. I really bleed inside when I see the great leaders, after telling a lie or breaking his promise, they enjoy. They think they are politicians, and all the newspapers, the media, they will be going on telling a great politician. Why? He gave the word and he broke it. No, very wrong sign. Because by that way, no great work can be done. Always you have to be truthful. Wherever, even in the warfield, truthful. So that is the Indian and Hindu culture, truthfulness. The Sri Ramachandra came, he taught us that. Then the Sri Krishna came, now another turn took. Sri Krishna, right from his childhood days, started showing so much of miracles. He lifted the whole hill on his finger. Why? Because up to Sri Krishna, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Yuga, up to Sri Krishna, the people used to think God means something or someone living in the sky. In Hindi, they still they say, Upar wala. Upar wala sab dekh rahe hain. To upar wala mein kaun upar wala? Again, who is this upar wala? So many satellites nowadays everywhere. But no one could find out if there is any God anywhere. Now we are reaching to the Mars, we are reaching to the moon. Where is God? What is that Uparwala? So this is the power that is there everywhere. It can manifest through human form. The human can be God. That was the proof in Krishna. That's why in the Bhagavata they said, all the avatars were the part of the Supreme God. Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. Why? Because he showed the complete manifestation. So this is the way they think. So this Krishna came ultimately. Then when the Krishna came, he started giving us philosophy. So he gave the path, the Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, in a unique way. It was there in the Upanishad. But in a very unique way, he summarized it and gave it in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the summary of the whole Veda. And it is a psychological book. Sometimes some people who are losing confidence in themselves, we get a lot of letters like that. I am losing confidence in myself. I like to be truthful, but all around people are pressurizing on me. And what shall I do? This type of problems constantly we face. So there Krishna is telling, the Urdharit Atmana Atmanam. That is the contribution of Lord Krishna. You have to help your own mind. No one can help you. Only you have to help your own mind and you have to come out of that problem. Urdharet Atmana Atmanam. Na Atma Abasadait. Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu. Atmaiva Ripu Atmana. You must become friend of your own mind. It's a unique teaching. Why should we have to go to the doctor, psychiatric? This is the Bhagavad Gita, one sloka is sufficient. I have to become my own friend. What the friend does, help me to become good. What the enemies does, always drag me to difficulties. So I should be the friend of my own body and mind. So Krishna's teaching. Then comes Lord Buddha. Now here the Hindus, they take the Lord Buddha also as an avatar. That's the greatness of the Hindus. Who was Buddha? He was Gautama, and he was born in a Hindu family. He took the initiation from a Hindu guru, and he was learning everything under the Hindu guru. His meditation process is nothing but the Hindu. His teaching is nothing but the Hindu. How come the Buddhism became separate? Because Buddha was a rebel child of Hinduism. At that time, Hinduism became, that when a movement goes on, it accumulates bad type of thing. Some people always come in and utilize that. And a group of people came in the name of casteism. They told, we are the super caste, upper caste, we are the Brahmanas. So, and then that way, slowly, they started making the religion as a ritualistic thing. Anything you have to perform this, you have to perform that. And when you are performing, they are the Purohitas. They will be sitting front. So you have to pay them. It became a business. And they wanted to get all money from the kings. Lord Buddha told, why unnecessarily you are doing like this? Sometimes some people they think that Lord Buddha ahimsa, of course ahimsa, because the himsa was terrible in those days. But what is that himsa? Just slaughtering an animal or eating a fish like that? No. It is inside our mind. And we can't stand others. We are always jealous about others. That is all himsa. So one must be very, very careful about that. So he said, ahimsa parama dharma. And Mahabharata, that is the main teaching of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a great war. Mahabharata, two groups, they killed each other. And in Mahabharata, lakhs of people, millions of people were killed. And that Mahabharata is teaching us ahimsa parama dharma. Why? After having all those things, they understood, if I am having the jealousy, then I will create more trouble for myself and for the society than anyone else. So it becomes the ahimsa. So this is the way when we understand religion. The Buddha said, very practical way, you better tell the truth, help others, love others, pray for others. If you notice the Lord Buddha's first 4 teaching, this world is full of misery. Jagat dukkhamaya. The whole world is full of misery. And it has a cause. Why? Because of your karma. The same with the Hindus only. Jagat is full of misery, we say. And why? Because of your karma. And third, you can go beyond this. And finally it says, it has a path to go beyond this. And they said these are the great 4 teachings of Buddha. Chatvari Arya Sattvani. Arya Satya. Arya Satya means the extreme truth. 4. But we all know it. We knew it. This is nothing new. So the Buddhism, we are unnecessarily thinking it is separate. Then his eightfold paths. What are the eightfold paths? You must tell the truth. You must live in such a way so that you are not harming others. All morality. If you read all those 8 steps, nothing but morality. Then what else he gave? Actually, he wanted to give this simple thing to the society. Instead of constantly thinking about this God, this Atman, this heaven and the hell, you better follow this. And moment you are good, and individuals are good, society is good. When the society is good, the whole human society will be happy. We need good people. We don't need dharma. We don't need so-called the religions. We need good people. The Buddha's teaching was that. And then finally comes the Kalki. This is a conception that someone will come and destroy the whole thing, the Kali Yuga. And then it will destroy the whole thing. Now in the Bhagavata, we find, then the Pandavas' time was over, and their descendants, then Parikshita, Raja Parikshita, their descendant, he was a very powerful king and very honest king. He met some people who were behaving peculiarly. He thought, why they are behaving so peculiarly? This is something new. And unnecessarily they were beating people, cheating people, creating problems, as we see now almost everywhere in the world. And that was something, a new thing for Raja Parikshit. Without reason, why you are beating? Why you are creating this problem? So he went over there and he found it is the Kali Yuga, Kali. He was entering into the minds of the people. He caught hold of him. Hey, you cannot live in my country, and rather I should kill you, because ultimately you will be the trouble for the human society. Then Kali said, sir, don't do that. This is a system of the Supreme God. We have to destroy, and for destruction this is necessary. And if you are not destroying, then the germination won't come, new creation won't be there. That should go, one should go, and another will come. So I am the last, so allow me to perform my duty. Then this king said, as long as I am alive, you cannot do anything. He said, okay, but I cannot go anywhere, I have to live here. Give me some places where I can live till you die. Then he gave, first place was gambling. Where the people are gambling, drinking, go over there. That is your place. And second, mitta, where the people are telling lies, you can live in that. So that way, 4 or 5 places was allotted for him. Then this king passed away. His son, Janmejaya, came. He also tried to protect this, but slowly it entered into it. And we can understand the terrible ego the people they were having, and short-sightedness. And by that way, they became the cause of suffering for millions and millions of people. In the First World War, in the Second World War, in the war, unending war everywhere. Why? Just because of little ego. Ordinary people are suffering, but they don't understand this. It's all influence of the Kali. Where is the end? Is the Kali truly coming, sitting on the horse? What I feel, this is my explanation, Kali Yuga is very fast. That's why the horse. All others, you see, they were not having the horse. And Kali Yuga, that is the sword he is carrying to destruction. He'll destroy. And he is very fast. And look at the modern world, it is so fast. I'm standing over here talking, and now this, all over the world, anywhere of the world, they can see it. They can hear it. We cannot imagine it 50 years before. 50 years before, if we could do this, then the people would have said, oh, great miracle. The Swami is reaching out to the whole world, the great miracle. Miracle is happening so fast. Intellect, unthinkable. Even the children, they are so intelligent. But ego is so much. And all concentration on the body. They cannot understand anything except the body. Only eating, only drinking, only good dress, only good place. All these only they are going on. But the body is a thing that is going to be destroyed. I just saw one person, a homeless man, when we were coming. And today, almost all the red lights we have counted. Almost hundreds of red lights. So even in over here, very near, the one person was sitting on a wheelchair, a little elderly now, maybe 50s, above 50, but very good looking American, the white American, very good looking. I was looking at his eyes and the face. He was really a handsome person. In his youth, he was truly a handsome person. Even now, if he comes up with the proper dress, really good handsome person. But suffering, why? He must have done wrong. He went too fast to enjoy. So narcotics and all other things. Now he's sitting over there in the corner of the road, no friends, no relatives, no house, no one in this huge world. So terrible punishment. There's all Kali. So this is the effect of the Kali. But Swami Vivekananda said, I will conclude with that. Swami Vivekananda said, by advent of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the Satya Yuga has started. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, if you have noticed, if you have read, the very first thing he said, Shatya Katha Kalir Taposya. In Bengali he said, if you can practice the truth, that is the austerity in this modern Kali Yuga. And nothing you have to do. In the previously, people used to go to Himalaya and they used to have a lot of other tapasyas. They will be eating only a little, maybe only water, and surviving on that. So many difficult penances they practiced. But now in the modern time, only tell the truth. Stick to truth and nothing but truth. You are on the lap of God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, he who is holding the truth, lying on the lap of God. That means he is always very happy. He is happy because of that. Maybe that effect won't come at this moment in this life. But you will enjoy practicing the truth in your next life. An example, his own father, Shudiram Chattopadhyay. I won't go to that story because I am already late. I only covered the 1 hour that is scheduled for us. Thank you, friends. And maybe, do you have any question? If not, we will conclude over here by saying Shanti 3 times. We go down and have some coffee, and we have to again go back to our Homar Glen Ashram because we have a board meeting and also the Ram Nam. Come, join me with the Shanti mantra. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Tat Sat.